Do you want to go to the video store tonight? The what? Fellow Kiss fans, welcome to It's All For You Demon, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. Saturday night tonight. Happy Saturday night to you. I thought tonight would be a good night to just kind of chill and reflect nostalgically on days of youth and days gone by and days we can't really experience anymore. And in that void of experience, let's talk a dead format, a completely dead format that no longer exists and is actually no longer even in production anymore. That would be the video home system, VHS. VCRs aren't even made anymore, I do not believe. Thought I remembered a story not too long ago of the last VCR rolling off the production line. I have 2 VCRs. And I have a collection of VHS tapes. I still love the format. I have a lot of love and nostalgia for that era. And that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. A piece of merchandise has shown up here in the Wax Night Basement. Welcome to the Wax Night Basement, by the way, on a Saturday night. I welcome you. I hope you enjoy hanging out with me tonight and waxing rock and roll nostalgia. A piece of merchandise has come into the Wax Night Basement and has really taken me back, because this piece of merchandise, it is what was used the very first night I was introduced to this wonderful band, Kiss. And that is this. Not Pee-wee behind me. It is this. The 1986 Worldvision Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park clamshell box. Pee-wee just burped in my ear, but that's okay, because we are full of nostalgia and happiness tonight. And thinking back to that night, my friend Dan showed up to my house with the Gene Simmons solo cassette and this VCR tape rented. I'll get out of your way. Of course, he didn't have the clamshell box. Clamshell box would have been back at the video store. But he did have that rented videotape, and we watched Phantom of the Park. And to be honest, I fell in love with the band because of the makeup. Not ashamed to admit it. I think a lot of people liked that aspect of the band. I loved the music I heard, but I really loved the makeup. They were the escape I was looking for. Not ashamed to admit it. But after that night, Danny and myself and my friend Brett would often return to the video store. I want to say the video store was called Video Exchange. I could be wrong, because it became a Blockbuster soon after. But I want to say during our heyday of this, it was still Video Exchange. We would return to Video Exchange often, every weekend, and rent Phantom of the Park and be hugely disappointed if the tape was not behind the box. And that's kind of what I just wanted to talk real quick about, that format and how sad it is. If you think about it, kids today, I mean, they have the world at their fingertips on a screen, but kids today will never ever know the joy of going to the video store on Saturday nights. That was the weekend destination. You went to the video store with your friends and you spent time walking every aisle, walking the wall, trying to find one movie to pick out, because you know you worked part-time and you didn't have a lot of money and you only had money to spend on one movie, and you really only had time to watch one movie. But you know, what are we gonna rent? Are we gonna rent a horror movie? Are we gonna rent a comedy? Are we gonna rent a movie with breast and nudity? You know, what are we going to rent? And then you always had the debate of whose card do we put it on and who do we trust to return this movie on time, because we don't want a late fee. And Be Kind, rewind your tape. And remember in the 80s when like memberships to video stores cost like $99 a year. It's crazy to think about, but such a fun era, man. I miss this era. When I saw this clamshell box for sale, had to jump on it immediately. Here's a little closer look at that clamshell box. Worldvision. Got a little rental number up there. Not a Good Times video. This is Worldvision. Copyright 1986. Got the tape in there. Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. Ah. I can still remember where this box would sit in Video Exchange, and you'd look for that tape behind the box, take it up for a rental. But it's such a forgotten format, it's such a dead format now, and it's so fun to reflect on it. And another format, I guess, to reflect on that is researched, of course, is vinyl. And kids today have the band's catalog at their fingertips. The entire band's catalog is on your phone. You don't have to do anything to get it. You know, back in the 70s, kids had to, you know, buy Alive 2, and then, oh man, they had albums before this. Go back and buy Destroyer. Go back and buy Alive. You haven't heard part 1 of Alive yet. You know, and then my era, CDs, you know, we would buy one CD. My first CD was Smashes, and then it was like, oh man, I have to get the whole catalog, you know. Next up, Hot in the Shade, because that's a new release. Then go back and, what do I buy? Do I buy Paul Stanley solo album? Do I spend $9.99 on a solo album that I don't know what it sounds like? That was the fun of collecting. And I remember my friend Brett, 2 houses down from me, growing up, he got, for one Christmas, he got every Kiss CD. Every CD in the catalog. I think it was 24 at the time. He got every single one of them. And my friend Danny and I could not wait until his family was done opening presents. We bolted over to Brett's house and we spent all weekend in his basement, much like this basement here, and just waxing rock and roll nostalgia and listening to every one of those CDs. Such a good time, such good memories. And, you know, streaming, me, I'm an old man. I like to have something tangible in my hands. And I remember I was excited for that last Halloween movie to come out on Blu-ray, and I would cringe hearing the commercials for it because they'd be like, Halloween on streaming now. Streaming? Man, I want a product in my hand. I want to go to a store and buy something and hold it in my hand and be able to look at the box artwork, be able to read about the product on the back. I know, I'm old, I'm nostalgic. What can you say? But again, with streaming, there are certain things you cannot do with streaming on your phone. And one of the cool things I got today also at the record store was this copy of Lick It Up that somebody has written all over, and it is perfect. I love anytime someone scribbles on a record, and the kid had fun with this. They colored in the logo, light, dark, and probably because they were confused, this being the first album without makeup, they wrote down each band member's name. Vinnie Vincent, Eric Carr, Gene Simmons, and Paul Stanley. I want to know who out there took the time to write down each one of these names on this copy of Lick It Up. And it is that kind of magic that you cannot have in today's world of streaming. Bring back our video stores, bring back record stores, bring back products, music, albums, CDs. I'm a sucker for the old days, but that, to me, is the fun of being a Kiss fan, and that's what we do here. We celebrate the fun of being a Kiss fan. So I ask you today, on this Saturday night, what is one format that you love? What is the one format you love? Vinyl? Cassette tapes? VHS tapes? DVDs? Or do you love streaming? No wrong answers. Everything is respected and high-fived, because we're all in this for the fun of being a Kiss fan. That's what this channel is all about. Thank you for hanging with me. Take care. Be safe. Bob Barker, PSA. Be good to your animals. Spay, neuter, microchip. Got another knucklehead right here. She wanted in on the action. Do you want to watch Phantom of the Park? So do I. And I will talk to you soon. I'm going to spend the rest of my Saturday night watching a little Phantom of the Park.